welcome back to our channel, passionate fans of the drama, passion, and endless intrigue of Genoa. Today is a great day to explore the latest shocking plot twists that are about to shake the very foundations of the Newman Empire. Will Victor make a mistake trusting a madman like Matt? Adam and Nick warn Victor, but it seems Victor is still trying to test Matt's loyalty. Sit back and let's uncover the explosive secrets that are about to be revealed. In the illustrious and often treacherous history of Genoa City, the Newman family has always operated under a unique, ruthless set of rules dictated by its formidable patriarch, Victor Newman. For decades, Victor has treated his family, his business rivals, and his temporary allies as mere chess pieces on a grand, sprawling board of his own meticulous design. His children, particularly Nick and Adam Newman, have spent their entire adult lives navigating the perilous, unpredictable waters of their father's expectations, manipulations, and highly conditional love. The latest crisis brewing at the Newman Ranch is not just another corporate power play. It is a profound moral catastrophe that threatens to permanently sever the already fragile bonds between Victor and his sons. The catalyst for this impending implosion is none other than Matt Clark, a man whose very name evokes visceral terror and deep-seated trauma for the Newman family. Yet, who now finds himself at the center of Victor's darkest machinations? To truly understand the gravity of the current situation, one must look back at the horrifying history Matt Clark shares with the Newmans. Matt is a historical antagonist of the highest order, a man who subjected Sharon Newman to unspeakable abuse and orchestrated a reign of terror that left permanent psychological scars on Nick. His recent return to Genoa City, coupled with a severe bout of amnesia stemming from a violent confrontation in Las Vegas, has created a bizarre and terrifying paradox. The amnesiac Matt claims to have no memory of the monster he once was and expresses a desperate, seemingly genuine desire for redemption. For Nick, who is currently battling his own harrowing demons and fighting for his sobriety, Matt's proximity is a waking nightmare. Yet, instead of banishing this historic threat from their lives, Victor Newman has done the unthinkable. He has brought the wolf directly into the sheep's pen, installing Matt in the tack house on the Newman estate. Victor's decision to harbor Matt Clark is not born out of sudden altruism or a belief in second chances. It is a calculated, deeply cynical maneuver driven by Victor's insatiable need for control and his burning, relentless vendetta against Kane Ashby. Kane, having recently been cleared of the AI-fabricated charges orchestrated by Victor himself, is poised to step into the corner office at Chancellor Industries. For Victor, Kane's exoneration and subsequent rise to power is an unacceptable defeat that demands immediate retaliation. Unable to destroy Kane through the legal system, Victor has decided to employ a much more insidious tactic. He views the amnesiac, vulnerable Matt Clark not as a threat, but as the perfect, malleable weapon, a blank slate that can be programmed to infiltrate Kane's life, gather intelligence, and ultimately orchestrate Kane's absolute downfall. The explosive truth of Victor's plan comes to light during a tense, atmospheric evening at the Newman Ranch. Nick and Adam, both harboring their own deep resentments and suspicions regarding their father's recent erratic behavior, find themselves converging on the main house. The tension between the brothers has historically been fraught, but their shared concern over Nick's fragile sobriety and Victor's dangerous game with Matt has forged an uneasy, unprecedented alliance. As they approach the study, the heavy oak door slightly ajar, the low, unmistakable timbre of Victor's voice stops them in their tracks. It is a moment of pure, cinematic suspense. The brothers press themselves against the shadows of the corridor, holding their breath as they inadvertently become witnesses to a clandestine meeting that will alter the trajectory of their family forever. Inside the dimly lit study, the scene unfolding is a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Victor Newman, radiating absolute authority, is meticulously outlining his diabolical strategy to a visibly conflicted Matt Clark. Nick and Adam listen in horrified silence as Victor details exactly how Matt is to embed himself in Kane Ashby's world. Victor's instructions are chillingly precise. Matt is to exploit his own vulnerability, playing the part of a lost, repentant soul in need of a fresh start, to gain Kane's sympathy and trust. Once inside Kane's inner circle at Chancellor Industries, Matt is to act as Victor's eyes and ears, identifying Kane's weaknesses, sabotaging his corporate initiatives, and feeding every piece of sensitive information back to the Newman patriarch. Victor makes it abundantly clear that Matt's continued freedom and any hope of redemption in the eyes of the Newman family are entirely contingent upon his successful execution of this espionage. For Nick Newman, standing in the shadows and absorbing every venomous word, the revelation is physically sickening. The betrayal cuts to the very marrow of his bones. This is the man who tortured his beloved Sharon, the man whose actions indirectly pushed Nick into a devastating relapse with fentanyl. To hear his father, the man who claims to protect his family above all else, casually weaponizing this monster for a petty corporate vendetta is a staggering blow. Nick's fists clench until his knuckles turn white, his heart pounding a frantic rhythm against his ribs. The sheer hypocrisy of Victor demanding loyalty while actively endangering Sharon's mental health by keeping Matt on the property, all to settle a score with Kane Ashby, threatens to send Nick into a blind, destructive rage. It is a profound violation of the core tenets of family protection that Victor so loudly preaches. Beside him, Adam Newman processes the scene with a different, yet equally intense, kind of horror. Adam possesses a dark, intimate understanding of Victor's manipulative playbook. He has been the pawn, the weapon, and the scapegoat in his father's grand designs more times than he can count. Listening to Victor exploit Matt's desperate need for forgiveness, Adam recognizes the exact psychological levers his father is pulling. Victor is preying on Matt's amnesia, twisting the man's genuine desire to make amends into a tool for corporate sabotage. Adam sees the tragic irony. Matt is actually trying to change, to distance himself from the monster he was, and Victor is the one actively dragging him back into the darkness. In this rare, profound moment, Adam's legendary cynicism aligns perfectly with Nick's righteous indignation. Unable to stomach another second of the toxic exchange, Nick and Adam silently retreat from the corridor, slipping out into the cool night air of the ranch. The silence between them is heavy, charged with the electric realization of what they must do. When they finally speak, the dialogue is raw and unfiltered. Nick paces furiously, his voice trembling with a mixture of rage and disbelief, articulating the sheer madness of Victor using a known predator as a corporate spy. Adam, usually the pragmatist, does not offer his usual defenses of their father's ruthlessness. Instead, he validates Nick's horror. They dissect Victor's absolute lack of moral boundaries, realizing that their father's obsession with winning has finally eclipsed any lingering shred of human decency or paternal care. The brothers realize that Victor's moral compass is completely shattered. The brothers' conversation quickly shifts to the intended victim of this plot, Kane Ashby. While neither Nick nor Adam has a particularly close relationship with Kane, they both recognize the profound injustice of Victor's vendetta. Kane has just survived a harrowing ordeal, having been falsely accused and nearly imprisoned due to Victor's AI-generated evidence. He is currently navigating a fragile, hopeful reunion with Lily Winters and preparing to undergo a life-saving medical procedure for Malcolm Winters. Kane is attempting to rebuild his life from the ground up, striving to be an honest man and a worthy partner. For Nick and Adam, the idea of allowing their father to launch a secondary, covert strike to destroy Kane's hard-won fresh start is fundamentally abhorrent. Kane does not deserve to be collateral damage in Victor's endless, destructive war for supremacy. Even more complex is their evolving perspective on Matt Clark. It is a bitter pill for Nick to swallow, acknowledging any shred of humanity in the man who caused his family such immense suffering. However, the eavesdropping session revealed a startling truth. The amnesiac Matt is deeply uncomfortable with Victor's demands. Matt is genuinely grappling with the horrific legacy of his past actions and is desperately seeking a path to the light. By forcing Matt to engage in deceit, manipulation, and espionage, Victor is actively preventing Matt's rehabilitation. Nick and Adam, in a stunning display of moral clarity, realize that intervening is not just about saving Kane. It is also about preventing Victor from corrupting a man who is genuinely trying to find redemption. The cruelty of Victor's plan lies in its deliberate destruction of Matt's fragile new conscience. United by a shared sense of disgust and moral obligation, the Newman brothers begin to formulate a dangerous counter-strategy. They know that openly confronting Victor without a plan would be corporate and personal suicide. Victor would simply deny the allegations and accelerate his timeline. Instead, they must operate in the shadows, using the very tactics their father taught them against him. Their first priority is to level the playing field for Kane Ashby. Nick and Adam debate the logistics of warning Kane about the impending infiltration. Alerting Kane to Matt's true motives would instantly neutralize Victor's spy, allowing Kane to feed Matt false information or simply bar him from Chancellor Industries altogether. It is a bold move that would effectively castrate Victor's entire espionage operation and protect Kane's new legacy. The second, far more radical phase of their plan involves Matt Clark himself. Nick suggests the unthinkable. They must help Matt escape Victor's grasp. If Matt remains at the TAC house, he will be subjected to relentless psychological pressure from Victor until he either breaks and complies or reverts to his former, violent self. Adam agrees, recognizing that removing Matt from the chessboard is the only way to ensure Sharon's safety and permanently thwart Victor's scheme. The irony is not lost on either brother. They are conspiring to protect and liberate their family's greatest historical enemy, solely to save him from the toxic, corrupting influence of their own father. It is a profound testament to how far Victor has fallen in the eyes of his sons, pushing them to ally with the man they despise the most. As Nick and Adam solidify their pact, the atmosphere is thick with the anticipation of an inevitable, explosive confrontation. They are crossing the Rubicon. By actively working to sabotage Victor's plans, they are declaring a silent war on the patriarch of the Newman family. When Victor inevitably discovers that his own sons have dismantled his carefully constructed trap for Kane Ashby, his wrath will be biblical. Yet, for Nick and Adam, the choice is clear. They can no longer stand by and watch their father sacrifice human lives, mental health, and basic morality on the altar of his corporate ego. This unprecedented alliance between the often warring brothers marks a seismic shift in the power dynamics of Genoa City. They are no longer Victor's pawns. They are the resistance, ready to face the storm they are about to unleash. The stage is now set for a brutal, emotionally devastating battle at the heart of the Newman Empire. Victor believes he holds all the cards, confident in his ability to manipulate a broken Matt Clark to destroy a triumphant Kane Ashby. However, he has critically underestimated the moral limits of his own sons. Nick, fueled by his desperate need to protect Sharon and maintain his sobriety, and Adam, driven by a rare spark of righteous empathy, are prepared to risk everything to stop him. As the sun rises over the Newman ranch, the shadows of betrayal grow longer. Genoa City is about to witness a war not fought in boardrooms, but in the dark, treacherous corridors of the human heart, where the ultimate prize is not a company, but the very soul of the Newman family. The confrontation is coming, and nothing will ever be the same again.